All right, this is a pressure washer with a Briggs Stratton pulse-jet engine, and I don't know if the pressure washer part is going to work. I don't know if the engine part is going to work, but I'm going to try to get this thing running as best I can, and if I can't make it into a pressure washer, I'll try and put it on a lawnmower deck and turn it into a lawnmower. This is the pulse-jet type of Briggs & Stratton, where you got the tank here, a little plastic carburetor that sits on top of the tank, and you push the primer to get the fuel up into the carburetor, and once it's primed, then it draws from there, it draws from the tank. There's a lot of things that are wrong with this mower. Primarily, let me show you, the carburetor linkage is all messed up. I don't know what they had in mind with this, with all these zip locks tied to incorrect places. There's no throttle springs of any kind. There should be two of them, ideally. You can get by with without having the little one on there, but you can't get by without having any of them. Looks like the original spark plug from 20 years ago, 21 years ago. That's how old this machine is. It's from that date, if you read it, that 04, that means it was made in 2004. And then the next 04 means it was made on the 4th. Excuse me, the 4th month, and then the 21st day. So April 21st of 2004, this Briggs & Stratton pulse-jet engine was made and sent out the door. Now the way these work, if it stays a pressure washer, I won't change anything up under the rewinder, but if the pump is broken, like it usually is on these, you know, people mistreat these and they leave them out over the winter and they freeze, and then the pumps break, and then nobody ever wants to repair them. They just get rid of them for a few dollars, and that's what this is. I paid a few dollars for this, not much. I want to say like 15 bucks or something. And the reason I did that is just the tank is worth that, assuming it doesn't leak. And I'll put it to good use on a lawnmower someday if I can't get this one to become usable either as a lawnmower or a pressure washer. But I did connect a garden hose to the inlet back there with the blue knob on it. And there was a hose here and a pressure wand, and I pulled the trigger on the pressure wander, and water did come out, and I did not see it leaking out of the pump. So I'm thinking maybe this thing might actually work. So we'll see. So stay with me and let's see what we can turn this thing into, either a working pressure washer or an engine on a lawnmower. So let me put this in my little holder here, and I'm going to try to turn this into something. And the first thing I got to do is attack that carburetor and figure out what's going on with it. And I may just pull all this off and put my own tank and carburetor on here and test it. Now the rewinder on this is made for this pressure washer. So there's no slot here for the engine brake for a mower. And also, if you'll notice, the pull cord on some on lawnmower rewinders, it's often kind of set at an angle like that because you're pulling up towards the handle. This goes straight back. So you could still use it on a lawnmower, but you're going to be pulling that over time, that rope is going to be rubbing the side of that right there. So let's begin. I'm going to get my gloves on. And we're going to begin to take this thing apart. I did check the oil, and it does have some oil in it. It's very black, but at least it's at a safe level where it could be operated. So let's go first under this air filter and see if it's got one. And if you'll notice, the air filter has the little bunny and the turtle on it, the tortoise and the hare. So that tells you that, by the way, they had this filter in the wrong position. They had it like that. This needs to be this way on the mower, and that way you can tell when you move this switch all the way to the right, you shut it off. To move it all the way to the left, it's running at the full speed RPM that it's designed for. There is no air filter in here, so that's discouraging. We're going to set that aside and try to stay positive. I'm going to start removing all this nonsense here, these Ziploc ties, because those have nothing to do with the running of this mower. And I'm going to get these off of here and start clipping away, get these things off. Why is that even there? God only knows why that's there. It's hard to grab these things. Okay, got that one off. That's connected to some kind of, like a cotter pin kind of thing. What is up with that? All right, getting this one off. I don't know why all these things are on here. All right. This, okay, it's tied to a knot. That's why it won't come off. So let me clip the knot. Okay, slowly getting all this stuff off of there. Somebody's bent this piece down, which is wrong. You can bend this part in the front down. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See, somebody's stuck this, looks like a giant paper clip in here, and they bent this piece down. That's wrong. You can bend this piece down in order to freeze the throttle, but then you would not be able to shut this mower off, because it shuts off with an electrical connection under there. That's where the kill wire comes. See, that would shut it off right there. Then over there, it runs. So I just wanted you to see what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to go ahead and bend this back up to where it's supposed to go, right here. If I can grab it. I'm not doing too good with grabbing it. There we go. Get up, up, up. All right, so now you can shut the mower on and off by doing that. So that is wide open, and then that would be turned off or closed. Some of you eagle eyes will notice that the throttle spring is missing, the main one, which runs from here to that wired loop. It connects to that. And there's another really tiny little spring that runs from this tab to the same wire loop. So we're going to be looking to at least replace or find the main spring, main throttle spring. So that's what we're going to be working on. If I leave this tank on here, which I probably will. Well, it may be okay. I'm going to look in here and see if there's any fuel in it. There's little fuel in there. It's probably old and horrible. I think I got that on right. There we go. So I'm going to grab this weird little, it's literally a bobby pin. That's the first one I've ever seen on a lawnmower. Somebody use a bobby pin on a lawnmower. So we don't need that. Let me throw this away. this is the type of pulsed jet that works off the air vane, and that is a piece of plastic that runs from right here over here, and the flywheel, when the engine's running, the flywheel is blowing a lot of air, and it throws that little air vane out, and that opens up the throttle. Excuse me, closes the throttle, and then if you hit some thick grass or something and put a load on it, then the springs, the throttle springs, then pull the air vane back in, which gives it more fuel and more air. So it's an ingenious method, really. It's an old style Briggs. So I'm going to go to work on this thing. Stay tuned, and when you come back, we'll continue.